we have this governor on our brain, and how you start pushing past that governor, start realizing your brain has the tactical advantage over you. Why? Because it knows your insecurities. It knows when you're lying, it knows your fears, it knows everything about you.
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through, and it's the lonely chapter.
I am the only one paying the price. I am the only one doing what's required. Everybody else is sitting at home eating Doritos, and I am out here in the snow getting better. How can you not be excited about that?
Just keep stacking days. Just keep stacking days. As long as you keep stacking days, I promise you, you will see the change. But my coach used to always say, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
Anything in life that you put your mind to, you can do.
Anything you want can happen and become a reality.
The world is your oyster. That's all I tell people. It's this and it's heaven. While you're on earth, you got to take advantage of this.
A person can accomplish anything that they want. If times are hard, good things nor bad things last forever.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. And yet, somehow we expect things to change. We expect things to change. You think you're going to get in better shape. You think you're going to get more money. You think your relationship is going to improve. You think you're going to get promoted. You think you're going to get a raise. You think the world is going to get better without you doing anything, but it isn't. Change the little things, and over time, you can change your life.
A lot of times we have this desire to point the blame finger externally, but wherever you point the finger of blame, power follows. And so whoever I blame for the life I have is the person who I give all the power over my existence, over my circumstances. And so it hurts, but if you turn the finger inwards and you start saying, I don't like my life. The person that I need to punish or get back at is the real person who got me here, which is me. And so you may be right that other people did certain things or you got dealt a bad hand. It also doesn't matter, because the only thing that you can control is obviously the actions that you take. And the only person who's in control of that is you.
If you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. It's this magical thing, purpose, that we're all looking for. But what's funny about it all is that we need these things to perform. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us, because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself.
The greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broke on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained.
If you quit that easy, you never really wanted it that bad.
If you're gonna do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over leverage yourself. Don't over leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're gonna try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out.
What I tell people is just be the best version of yourself in anything that you do. You don't have to live anybody else's story. Sometimes people make it seem like you have to have certain prerequisites or a crazy life story in order to be successful in this world. But the truth is you really don't. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you have or don't have, what you lack, what you have too much of, but all you need to have is faith in God, an undying passion for what you do or what you choose to do in this life, and a relentless drive and the will to do whatever it takes to be successful and whatever you put your mind to.
Learning is the beginning of wealth. Learning is the beginning of life change. Some people want to start with motivation, but here's the best motivation we've got going. The proof of our success.
Those who have swords and know how to use them, but keep them sheathed, will inherit the world. You should be a monster. You know, because everyone says, well, you should be harmless, virtuous. You shouldn't do anyone any harm. You should sheath your competitive instinct. You shouldn't try to win. You know, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be too assertive. You want to take a back seat and all of that. It's like, no. Wrong. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it.
Do you know the expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war?
Right.
No one thought in my family that, or even through my friends or through my mum and dad's friends, whoever was around us, no one thought that we'd ever be anything. No one thought that like our art could sell and we could make money that way and we could build careers that way.
What is the starting point?
One step at a time. Whether it's 10,000 steps or doing even a 20-minute workout, that's all people need to do to change.
How do I finish where I start? I get 2 weeks into it and then I stop. Well, this is the thing about it. People forget one thing about me. I used to be you. I used to be a fat guy, a guy that didn't care much, a guy that got D's and F's in school, a guy that blamed other people, a guy that was under mediocre. I wasn't even average. So this is the thing about it. I'm gonna tell you what people don't want to tell you. Why you stop is because you're lazy. It's because you don't mind getting bad grades in school. It doesn't bother you enough to be mediocre, to be average, to sit around and watch people do great things. You don't mind it. So there's your answer. Your answer is you don't care enough about yourself, so you don't stay in the fight.
You gotta do the work. You gotta do it when you don't wanna do it. You gotta do it when you're hurt. You gotta do it when you're tired. You gotta do it when you're sick. You gotta do it when you don't wanna do anything else. And you gotta do it for years.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Oh, you got to set realistic goals and take small little actions and you know, they don't understand it because they've never built anything of any sizable nature. If you want to be excellent and you want to build something huge and you want to have a big life and you want to make a lot of money, you better set some big goals and follow it up with some big actions.
Nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We gotta do our job. Life is tough sometimes and it's not fair. And it doesn't care sometimes. But you're gonna hold true to what you believe and you're gonna hold true to who you are and you're gonna be that person whether it's easy or it's not.
The man who never fell has no glory. The man who fell and got back up, that's where his glory is. The man who fell 20 times and got up 21 times, that man has even greater glory. Wow. That man has more courage, way more courage than the guy who was so strong from birth that he never fell. There's no glory in that.
What I realized is for me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. And the only way I can turn it around is put myself through the worst things possible a human being can ever endure. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind through pain and suffering.
We're built to walk uphill. And when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the vision, but the next thing you want is a higher hill in the distance, because it's the uphill climb that it's from the uphill climb that we derive our value.
Challenges in life is a lot of us are running around half-assing ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way.
My book is called Can't Hurt Me. Why is it called Can't Hurt Me? Life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, it's a testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We are all underdogs in life. Even the baddest person in the world should think that way. So you should always have I've never arrived mentality. And the can't hurt me mentality is no matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from. When I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt me. Nothing should be able to hurt you. And that's the thing you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
On the other end of suffering is a life that many people don't know even exists. It's a beautiful world because like the 40% rule. We all live in this world where our brains are keeping us in this box. Outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, which is on the other edge of that 40%, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box is comfortable.
You'll start seeing results regardless of what position you're in right now. If you can just keep increasing incrementally what you're doing in terms of fitness or your business or however you like your sleep, whatever it is that you feel is not right, you'll see the change over time. It comes, and it takes a long time. It takes a really long time, but it happens.
A moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
Now, fear is going to be a player in your life, but you get to decide how much. You can spend your whole life imagining ghosts, worrying about the pathway to the future, but all there will ever be is what's happening here, and the decisions we make in this moment, which are based in either love or fear. So many of us choose our path out of fear disguised as practicality. What we really want seems impossibly out of reach and ridiculous to expect, so we never dare to ask the universe for it. I'm saying I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything except my faith. I want to fall forward. I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing.
Once you change one thing, your mindset, you can attack everything.
That work, the work you know you should be doing but aren't, is the opportunity, because that is the work that your competitors also aren't doing. And I'm telling you from the bottom of my soul, it is so easy to beat people today. They are so soft. They have no work ethic. No one can stick with anything. Everyone's distracted. They're on social media. They're counting their fucking notifications because they can't stick with shit. They can't say no.
The cynics get to be right, and the optimists get to be rich. 99% right and 100% wrong. They're right 99% of the time, but they're wrong 100% because the only thing that matters is the big one at the end.
The biggest mistake a person can do right now, no matter in which situation you are, is to give up. You might not reach the best version of yourself in this lifetime, but a better one than you are right now.
I say chase your dreams, man. Do that thing, man, that keeps you up at night. That thing that bothers you, man, that makes you trip. You can't quit thinking about it. You always, that thing, man, that you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a new idea. That's what you got to chase. Because anything else, it's gonna disappoint you. You're gonna forever be sad, man. If you don't chase that dream, you're gonna forever be miserable, man.
Best way to fight the demons that chase you in the night is to stop and turn around. Turn around, face them. Man up. There's a thing about manning up. Don't you feel better when you accomplish something and you work through something and you man up?
It's 1 a.m. I'm going for my third workout. Do I want to go to the gym? Absolutely not. I'd rather, lay in my house and sit in the movie theater and watch movies. But, to be the best, you got to work overtime. To be the best, you got to work overtime.
If I ask the question here, if everybody is excited to get out of bed every single day, if I saw a hand, I'm going to blatantly call you a liar. Because we all know that is far from the truth. But if you have those little small goals, those little small things that get you excited when you don't want to, it's going to make it even better and even easier at the end when you're getting ready for a presentation or the end of the year or this or that, whatever event you're leading up to. It's going to make it so much easier. And I think if you look at the greats in anything that, in any walk of life, the greats do things when they don't always want to. And that's the separation. For me, that's what I've found. Because I can sure as hell tell you that there were days where I hated my coach. There were days where we got in fights, we got in arguments, we couldn't stand what we were doing. I would do things purposely to piss him off, but that's a different story. But, I think that was just really how we worked. Like, he was somebody who was so perfect for me that if I ever would have swam for anybody else, I never would have had the chance to do what I did, because he challenged me in ways and forced my mind to think differently. For me as a kid growing up, I'm huge into music, and music is a big part of my life. And I'm a huge Biggie Smalls fan, and he wrote a song called "The Sky Is the Limit." And as a kid growing up, I believed that. I believed that whatever I put my mind to, and if I was willing to make sacrifices and I was dedicated, that I could achieve absolutely anything.
And you still do?
I still do.
As soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change.
What do you say to those viewers that don't pursue their dreams and are locked in their careers because they are too afraid to take risks and pursue something meaningful?
Well, the first thing I would say is, you should be afraid of taking risks and pursuing something meaningful. But you should be more afraid of staying where you are if it's making you miserable.
You are a man. Stand up and be a man. Make the hard decisions, make the sacrifices, make the unpopular decisions, and become comfortable in your own skin.
Why do you think it says, take the opportunity? It doesn't say receive the opportunity. Right. It doesn't say have the opportunity granted to you. It doesn't say get lucky with the opportunity. It says take the opportunity. You know what that means? That means you have to seize it. That means you have to take it. No one's going to give it to you. No one's going to come and say, here, I got this path. You can make $1 million a year or $10 million a year. If you do, that's not how it works, bro. True high achievers, they look for the lane and then they take the opportunity by taking initiative. And a lot of people don't like to do that because they do this. Well, what if I do all this and they don't recognize me? I'm not going to put in all this work and, have them not pay me for my blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something, bro, that's loser talk. Because here's the reality. If you took the opportunity, you learned the skills, you learned how to solve the problems, and you were actually valuable, and your place of business doesn't recognize it, you just learned a whole new set of skills that you could take elsewhere and make more money.
The feeling I feel right now, as bad as it feels, is a fucking hell of a lot better feeling than a life where you throw the towel. That's something you never recover from. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up stronger. I'll feel alive, and I'll have the belief and confidence backing me up. After a good night's rest, I can only get better. When the towel's down in life, there's no more rounds, man. You threw it in. I feel like shit right now, but I can pick the towel back up. I'm gonna be stronger tomorrow, the next round. Life, guys, it's a plan of action. If you don't have the plan, I guarantee you someone's gonna use you as part of their fucking plan. Stop fucking going about the day as a servant. Become the master. Run your day and stop having it run you. Believe in yourself. Be that one of 100 that has a belief instead of just fucking jaw-jack talk of intent. Huge differential there. Differential is somebody just breathing life and the other one taking the most of the opportunity of time of life.
Because, dude, the reality is life is hard, man. We're going to be hit so many times with unexpected hardships. And these unexpected hardships, for most people, crumble them. And the reason they crumble them is because they lack the ability to operate during hard times. So if you want to really know what you're going to get out of the book, if you do the work that's prescribed in the book, because that's part of the book, it's a big part of the book, is the work that's prescribed. What's going to happen is you're going to become someone who, and I want you to really think about this, okay? If we look at the scale of life, productive life, as 80 years, all right? We have to understand that during those 80 years, certain times are going to be good and certain times are going to be bad. And that's for every single human being on the planet. And most people can operate and produce when times are good naturally. They can do that. Most people cannot operate and produce when times are bad. And so what this book is really about is teaching yourself to operate during all the times. And if you can operate during the good and the bad times, the easy times and the hard times, you naturally create this gap between you and everybody else. And whether that be in business or your career or just the quality of husband or father or parent that you are, or you run an organization, that is a cumulative effect over time. And people wonder a lot about why certain people are able to do so much more with their 80 years than other people.
Life isn't fair, is it? Doesn't appear to be very fair.
This is something I really came to understand more deeply when writing this book. What are we built for? We're built for maximal challenge. And that isn't the way we view ourselves in the modern world. We view ourselves as built for pleasure, pornography. We view ourselves as built for consumption or for safety or maybe for egotistical self-aggrandizement and fame. All of those things are better than their absence, let's say. It's better to be a successful reprobate than a useless scrounger.
I always fix the things on the surface. So if I couldn't read and write, I learned to read and write. I would always fix these things on the surface level. And so whenever something hard would raise its ugly head, I didn't have any kind of tools to handle it. I'm like, man, I thought I fixed this already, man. But no, I didn't go deep into the dungeon of my soul to say, okay, what is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? And so that's why I kept on quitting and going back to start, or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I always tell people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study, I didn't study a fucking book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. You put a sword in the fire repeatedly and repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're gonna get a nice sword. And then you keep on beating it. You gotta beat the shit out of it. And that's what I am. Yeah. I became that. I said, okay, we can't quit. We got to figure out why you are this pussy. Why are you this pussy, man? What is wrong with you? What's going on here? So I kept on putting the sword back in the daggone fire, and I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man, the brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard. I'm no longer a theorist. I'm now a practitioner.
Every single good thing that happens in our lives, everything, comes at a cost. There's nothing for free. Somebody with an incredible career has no relationship with their kids, right? Everything comes at a cost. But at the same time, everything we struggle with has opportunity and lesson that goes with it. It's always balanced, right? And so whenever anybody tells me this great thing, I'm always like, yeah, but at what cost? And was the cost worth it? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. And when something horrible happens in someone's life or something goes sideways, I always ask, but what did you learn? My career, yours is the same. The golden circle and the concept of why came out of me losing my passion and hating work. I went through depression. I never want to go through that again, but I'm really glad it happened because look at what it's given me an entirely new life view.
We're writing a book every day of our lives, but we never read that book.
So what I would challenge this young man or young woman to do is you have to look inside of yourself to see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just fucking words. I get so tired of hearing people just talking. Like right now, someone may think Goggins is just talking. You don't know me. So when I speak from passion. I speak from experience. I speak from suffering. I have to tell this young man or woman that the only way I believe, this is my experience in life, the only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer.
Everybody knows you got to pay a price for winning, but most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily. Just like the stock market goes up and down, the price of winning changes on a daily basis. You got to be willing to pay that price, whatever it is on that day.
Some of you been average for so damn long, you don't know what it is to do hard work. But there's a lot of you out there who want to be much more than average, but just don't know how to do it every single day, the grind. You need to find someone to oil those fucking gears up. So check it out. This is a mindset. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But there's a motherfucker out there who wants what you have, who wants the position you are, who wants the job you have, who wants the wife that you have, or the husband. There's someone out there hungry and wants everything you fucking have. So make that a motivation for you.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
5 or 6 years, I went every single day without missing a single day. I never got sick. I was in the water on Christmas, birthday, holidays, everything. It didn't matter. And the thought process behind that was, when you take a day off in the sport of swimming, it takes you 2 days to get back to where you were. So when somebody is taking off on a Sunday, they're not back till Tuesday from where they were on Saturday. So I have that many days ahead of them.
Just doing it makes you do more. Like, do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understanding that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do, it's what makes you have that confidence that you know how to push through. And the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get shit done.
Point being, if you're 20s, do all of that. Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible.
What about work-life balance in your 20s?
Fuck it. Because that's the time to put in the hard work. Your work-life balance actually comes out later.
Man, I'm built different, period. I'm just built different, man. And I've always had an eye, a discipline and a work ethic that I've had at a young age that I just apply it to everything that I want to do. So I would say that, I rarely go out, reading, you know what I'm saying, trying to reverse engineer how to be successful. Like, how do I, start my own production company? How do I do this? How do I do that? And I always felt like if other cats was out partying and I was home studying, I would have the edge.
Never say you can't do it. Say, I haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. And that's true with everything. It's like, there's nothing that you can't do. You may not have done it yet. We don't know if you can do it or not until you really practice. And then you find out if you can do it or not, or how well you can do it.
Find a thing that you genuinely enjoy, because getting good at things you genuinely enjoy is extremely beneficial.
Once your brain is crowded, discipline is great, motivation is great, but if you can't fit shit in your brain because it's all fucking cluttered with shit, there's no discipline. You may have it sometimes when it fits in that crowded garage of your mind, but you don't have the consistency that you need to have with that discipline.
Because I think you can only do your best work if you're doing what you want to do, and if you're doing it the way you think it should be done, and if you can take pride in it after you've done it, no matter what it is.
Only risk takers win. By definition, if you are the same as everybody else, if you're not taking a risk over and above what everybody else is taking, by definition, you can't win. If you're doing exactly what everybody else is doing, how can you possibly win? You have to be different to win. You have to take risks.
was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace behind it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks.
I promise you, these people that are winning fucking win because there is no other option. Understand what I'm saying here? It means that you can do what you put your mind to. And if you continue to put your mind to it, the game opens up new levels. Tell me I'm fucking saying something wrong.
So it brings me to my second thing. You can beat 99% of people if you can master the shame of rejection, the boredom of repetition, and the pain of feedback. You can beat almost anyone at anything if you're willing to fail 20 times in a row, look stupid in front of people that you care about, and keep going long after it stopped being convenient.
Work ethic eliminates fear, so if you put forth the work, then what are you fearing? You know what you're capable of doing, what you're not.
You gotta have somebody, whether it's yourself or a friend or somebody that's gonna say, look, did you do what you said you were gonna do by this time? And if you don't, hold your feet to the fire. Because, just sitting around dreaming someday, someday I'm gonna get a different job. Someday I'm gonna change this. Well, someday ain't a day of the week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Look on your calendar. Some days not on there. So you got to say, okay, I'm going to take this small step by here, this small step by there, this small step by there, and then pretty soon, we don't leap tall buildings in a single bound. We take it a floor at a time.
Now here's the keys to setting goals. First of all, write them down. A goal that's not written is just a fantasy. A real goal, is a dream with a deadline. So take the goal and write it down, and then set a deadline for the goal. When do you want to accomplish it? And then make a plan to accomplish it. Write down everything you can think of that you'll have to do to get the goal. And then organize the plan by priority. What should you do first? What should you do second? And so on. And then get started. It's the most incredible darn thing. But there's amazing how many people say, I'd like to be financially independent. Well, why aren't you? To show me your financial independence bank account. Show me your savings account and your plan for how much you're going to put in each week, each month, each year, and where you plan to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Oh, I don't have any of that. I just want to be financially independent. Shut up. Fact of the matter is that once you start moving toward the accomplishment of a goal, the most remarkable darn things happen. Once you have your goal, make a commitment to it. You see, we either develop good habits that make our lives wonderful, or we develop bad habits that undermine our success. And if we develop habits of setting goals clearly and making plans and setting deadlines and taking action, and then committing ourselves wholeheartedly to their accomplishment and refusing to stop because we're unstoppable, then we must ultimately achieve the goal.
I don't care what you're going to do, but go out there and make something of yourself for God's sake. Be an honest person and work and get to the top of whatever it is that you want to get to the top of. And stand up for yourself like a respectable human being and be a bit of a light on the world instead of a blight.
To do anything successfully in life, you've got to want it as bad as you want to breathe.
How much more do you want from me?
More.
How much more successful do you want me to be?
More successful.
How many records can my records break?
More records.
But I'm the best.